But when it comes to such things that we've seen recently, like the attack on Google, which some people believe was the result of a particular sovereign government, that's a different issue altogether, and it's one that kind of goes beyond the bounds frequently of insurance. But I absolutely agree that it's a concern. But what's happened also in the decade is that I think many businesses have recognized that it makes a lot of sense to invest in security up front to prevent an attack from occurring to begin with. In other words, good, sound risk management, risk avoidance, rather than spend a lot of money, for instance, paying on the back end for damages that are done. So in the same way that it makes a lot of sense to retrofit a building against an earthquake or a hurricane to avoid actually having to pay out on the other end. This can reduce your insurance costs, and obviously at the end of the day it's more attractive to consumers who are more likely to do business with you because they believe you've taken the appropriate security precautions with their sensitive data. I believe we did have a question online also. The question here would be, there was a discussion of premiums falling due to technological efficiencies, and I believe I had mentioned that, and it said, do you see increased safety, especially in autos, contributing to that potential premium reduction going forward in auto insurance? The answer to that is yes. There is absolutely no question that investments in automobile safety, many of which in fact have been researched and financed by the insurance industry, have produced a very, very solid return. And by return here, I don't mean just in terms of reduced losses relative to the number of vehicles on the road for insurance companies. We're talking about a tremendous reduction in fatality rates. In fact, there were approximately as many people killed on the highways in America in 2009 as there were in 1959, despite the fact that the number of cars on the road is many, many, many times higher, of course. So these have if we were to basically, estimate what auto insurance would cost based on the relative cost in 1950, it'd be much more expensive today. So these innovations in technology have made a tremendous difference, and at the end of the day, what they've done is save lives and prevent injuries, and nothing could be more important than that.
Yeah, I would echo that comment. When we look at Allianz data, we certainly see that the safety innovations not only reduce loss of life, but in fact reduce the frequency of accidents. And as one looks at the German luxury car market, and I'm sure many other car markets as well, and you see some of the innovations that are coming, it will be very interesting to see the impact that these have on the frequency of events. Perhaps a countervailing aspect to that is all these gadgets cost a lot of money, and so when you do have a vehicle that is in an accident, particularly a total accident, you're going to have significant bills for automobiles that incorporate this technology.
Good. I do see one more question online also, and this relates to a very specific question. In our discussion of catastrophe securitization, will the potential resurrection of the New York Insurance Exchange be a significant part of the answer? At this point, I would have to say the answer to that is, well, we certainly don't know. But given that the very loose discussions about resurrection of the New York Insurance Exchange are at I think the most preliminary level, at this point I'd have to say the answer is no. I mean, we know where securitization is going with respect to catastrophe bonds. We see securitization of mortality risk and some life insurance bonds. Obviously, there's another major exchange in the world, Lloyd's, and so until there's more definition as to what exactly the state of New York has proposed, I would have to say that right now we're looking at traditional capital market instruments as providing the the bulk of that capital market capacity. Operator, were there any more questions?
There were no questions in queue. Just as a reminder, though, if you would like to take this opportunity, just press star, then 1 on your phone.
We'd like to thank everyone then for participating in this webinar and to remind you that these presentations are going to be saved on both the III and Fireman's Fund website. And if anybody would like to arrange an interview to speak with either one of our presenters today, please give me a call and I'll set it up. And my number is 212-346-5555.
So thank you very much, everybody, and we wish you best of success.
Great, and thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude our conference for today. Thanks for your participation and for using AT&T's Executive Teleconference. You may now disconnect.
Thank you for calling the AT&T Teleconference Replay System.